Oh, you are listening to Primordial Harmony, Session 75, Episode 75, a classic, or a retelling of the classic Elemental Evil story in the Dungeons & Dragons multiverse. My name is Michael, and I am running this, and tonight I'm joined by...
Hey Joy! My name is Miles. I'm playing two characters, Chadicus Winthrop, a human druid, and Tadias Adenoff, an awesome Mars.
And I am Kitties. And I am going to be playing Maeva Doneman, who is a Eladrin elf fighter, and Hum, our Kingrid, who is the cutest little gnome bard you ever did.
Nyx will be late tonight, but she is taking on the role of Nazi Bite, aka Bit, and Vox, the human rogue.
Hello, I'm Senna, and I'm playing Snow, the Elven Tempest Cleric, and Delia, the Gnome Wizard.
Hey, I'm Zeph, and I will be playing the new addition to the party tonight, the Hobgoblin Vardikk, one of the survivors of the Fire Cult Temple. I also play Zachary Vitalis, Best Dad.
And Sorta God.
Kind of a demigod.
Kind of.
Daddy God.
Daddy God!
I love it.
Alright.
I feel like that's going to be picked up by Delia and Hum.
Oh yeah.
When we last left our heroes, after the dead but temporarily reanimated mages deliver their taunt to the excavators, the planar rift in the center of the summoning laboratory classroom in Aldak's Center for the Arcane Arts begins to collapse. One of the professors tied to the pillars inside the room recognizes that the rift is going to collapse shortly, and they needed to clear out quickly. The excavators sliced the bonds holding the teachers in place and managed to clear the room before the rift collapsed and released the destructive energy. The excavators began to escort the professors back the way they came, and came across another professor guiding a group of students fleeing from gnolls. The professors and students hid in the classroom while the excavators fought the rather large group off, taking damage before they could be put down. Upon exiting the building, Gordon cast Ascending to Zachriel, informing him that a larger horde of gnolls was bearing down on the Wayshield's headquarters. After hurriedly bringing the Akka faculty and student back to the safe area under Marshal Bucklesmith, the excavators made their way to Market Avenue. It was then that Gordon's task force and the excavators met up and marched up the southern hill of Forthstride. Indeed, the section of street in front of the Wayshield headquarters was under attack, the barricades broken open and gnolls filtering in. The powerful group managed to lure a sizable amount of them, which they defeated with ease using their various abilities, and at the barricade, they won out. Gordon would come to inform the double party that this pack of gnolls came mostly from the woods just outside of town on the top of the hill. He surmised that the crypt that contained the anti-elemental crystal gained new occupants. Gordon's task force, having seen a bit less action that day than the excavators, volunteered to go delve into the old crypt, while Hum, Tadias, Delia, Vox, and Zachriel would watch over the Wayshield headquarters. Kine would go too after being peer-pressured by a very worn-out stone flame. Gordon's task force would also be joined by Vardikk the Hobgoblin the excavators picked up in the Fire Cult's underground complex. Gordon's task force finds the entrance to the crypt and descends into the unnaturally cold cult hideout. We return to Bit, Chadicus, Maeve, Snow, Vardikk, and Kine staring down a small group of gnolls at the entrance of the crypt. And I will bring you there in a hot second. Whoa, no. And then... I will ping. It's at the bottom if you... Alright. So go ahead and that orange line that I drew there, go ahead and set yourselves up in whatever order you want behind that, and then we'll roll initiative. And Maeve, with your keen elven eyes, you see somebody hiding behind the corner over there.
Are we rolling initiative?
Yes. Yes. I'll run bit. Who's probably up here, and Kine is probably back here with Chadicus.
I don't think it.
What's up?
No, the initiative roll didn't take for.
Uh,
I won. We're all good.
think I got all of them. Alright. Alright, Maeve. You act first.
So, you said that she saw somebody over here?
No. Up here. This token you see right there.
Oh, okay. So she is just going to rush forward because fighter.
Hell yeah.
Into this guy's face here and just start swinging.
Alrighty.
Actually, she wants to do this while there's nobody.
Ooh. Yeah. When it what's up, the target is increased from 10 feet of target. So you would get this guy too. So these three you would get.
Okay,
Yeah.
so she is taking the Thalgus and she is going to put this right into his face.
That's a hit. Alright, for 10 slashing. And then then you make saves. Right, okay. Go ahead and roll that die. Spell Marshal die.
My gosh. Okay.
And I need to roll 2 dex saves. Bop, bop. That's unfortunate, but you still got them a little bit. That
And
hits.
again.
That hits the Pack Lord. Right. 3, and then 9, and then he takes half, and the other guy. What's your spell save DC?
14.
Okay, so the other guy fails and takes the full brunt. What element are you using? What's this look like?
Right now she is snow.
Ooh, making snow proud.
Right?
This cold energy washes over them, adding to the cold temperature in here. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
No, that's gonna be it.
Alrighty, Chadicus.
All right, I will waddle past my teammates. Excuse me, pardon. Yes, and try to get a better look at what's going on. I think I'm gonna bonus action to get my shillelagh up, and then I will. Quite a few of them. As an action, I think I'm gonna do the fairy fire. Let me see how big that is.
20 foot.
20 foot. So if I aim it in this back area, will I avoid Maeve?
Let's find out. Where's he going?
Somewhere like right there. Sure.
Sweet.
Ooh, I can get 4 with that one.
Yeah, you can. Alright.
So yeah, may they make dexterity saving throws, please.
Dexterity
As I make a
saving
nice like
throws.
green puff of pollen that just kind of sparkles them up.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to ruin your day. That doesn't go off.
All right.
Because you watch and you see this guy creep around the corner. And, and the magic sort of, it starts materializing and then it just sort of fades away and sparkles.
You rapscallion. That'll be your turn.
Alrighty. Oh, you are a tasty target as this gnoll draws an arrow.
Oh, I'm the thickest. Bring it.
13, 18.
Well, that doesn't get me eaten, but yeah, the 18 hits.
Alright. 9 piercing, and I need you to make a wisdom saving throw. As these two dark arrows careen toward you, one of them striking you.
Wisdom save, interesting.
You feel your sort of natural power start to pull from you, but you shake it off, and you're able to resist it.
And you said how much damage?
It's going to be 9, because the one hit you.
Gotcha.
Alright. The Gnoll Pack Lord engages Maeve. And he brings up his glaive and takes a huge sweep at her. Where'd your thing go, buddy? There it is. Ooh, you make 3 attacks. Okay, 1. Oh, that's just the multi-attack thing. Ha ha ha. 13.
She would like to repost. Yes, no.
Go ahead and roll that. 14 misses as he brings his glaive up and whacks her face with like the blunt end. 9 damage, and then he's got one more up his sleeve. 17.
Misses.
Alright, clangs off of her shield, and then he roars. And the one here takes a bite at Maeve. 20 to hit for 4 piercing.
Hits.
Alright, that's his turn. This Gnoll is going to come over to Maeve. Actually, no, he's not. He's going to come over... Whoa. He's going to come over here, draw some arrows, and take a couple of shots at Chaticus. 14, 18.
18 what?
18 hits for 5 piercing. This black shaft enters your or just slices through your leg, but you feel this strange pull. Roll another wisdom save. Alright. You lose a spell level. From your highest level slot, it downgrades to the level below. Whatever that means for you. And that's it.
If I have full on my number 4s and I have a level 5,
You can have a more than your maximum number 4s in this particular instance.
Copy. Then I'll do that.
All right. And that's his turn. Bit will do things. Bit seeing Chaticus getting pin-cushioned will run over to this one. Actually, you know what? I'll use her cool thing. She runs up to here.
Mike.
What's up?
Would he have saved if that was a 16?
No, he wouldn't have. What's how much is your aura?
It's +2.
No. How much is your? How big is it?
10 feet, I think.
Oh, he's out of the way. Never mind.
How big is your aura, though?
Oh, it's 10 feet.
All right. We gotta mark that so that we don't forget. Bang. All right. You can change the color if you want. A bit will stay in your aura, and she'll shoot a couple of super cool zappy zaps. She shoots a couple of bolts at this Gnoll here, and they look like ninja stars. Where's her thing? Pew pew pew. All 3 of those hit, I think. Yep. So she peppers this guy. Oh, and all 3 of them just like penetrate his skin, and they bleed light, and then they just extinguish as he falls over dead. And Kine will march up. Yeah, okay. And he lobs a steam blast at this guy. It's not a melee weapon attack. Actually, he can hit him, right? Yeah, he can. 16 hits for 12 fire. Attaboy. Alright. This mage comes out and takes a couple of steps here. And he places his hand on the Pack Lord. And he looks like he's casting a spell. Does anybody have counterspell in this party?
I believe.
Alright. The Pack Lord disappears. And then he snickers at Maeve and takes another step back. And that's his turn. Vardikk.
Alright. I see that guy. He's casting spells, right?
He sure is. He sort of reminds you of those two, of that one cultist back in the Fire Temple.
Oh, God.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I can move here. And with my bonus action, I'm going to Misty Step.
Oh, shit. He looks smug. He doesn't expect that for you to cast a spell as your... what's it look like when he casts Misty Step? Actually, no, it's just a verbal, huh? What does he say, if anything?
It just says, not again. Because of that, remembering that temple.
Yeah. Nothing personal, kid. Looks behind him, sees you there. That's a hit.
Wait, has Vardikk had a fedora this whole time?
Don't do him dirty like
Please
that.
say yes.
Don't do him dirty. Okay. Wow, he can't shield any of that. Hits for 14.
Is he making con saves?
Yes, let me do that. 1. He doesn't have
You know
advantage, but that...
Just because of what you said, I'm going to slap a martial die on that second attack.
Okay.
He needs to make a save.
What kind of save?
Another con save.
Alright, here's the con save for wounding attack. Not constitutional. So, he'll take the damage and lose the hit points. Okay. And this is the con save for the spell. Alright. Maeve, the Gnoll Pack Lord in front of you, reappears with its glaive raised, but toward the mage. Snow.
Finish it, Maeve.
We're getting
Hit
all
the
up in
mage.
here. We're gonna hit the mage with ice.
Yeah. Ho 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 ho.
And we're gonna divine strike.
Yeah! Oh! Oh fuck. Okay. And you can roll that again.
Holy crap!
You can roll that again because you crit.
Oh, green numbers hurt so good.
And also, if he's still alive,
No.
he
What's it look like?
moves 10 feet less. She just, as this Pack Lord is like turning around and raising his glaive, she like comes in behind him and slides her glaive right in underneath his ribs, and then yanks it out.
All right. Yeah. Falls over. Alrighty. This Gnoll looks at his leader, who had his glaive raised to the mage, and he looks at Snow, and he looks at his leader, and he looks confused, doesn't do anything. Maeve.
Is Pack Leader still alive?
He is alive, and he was turned away from you with his glaive raised.
Well, she is going to give him a nice surprise with Rothalvis into his.
Alright, that hits. For 7 damage.
And she pokes around with it and hits him again, trying to reach his heart.
That's a hit. For 9, he's not dead.
Oh, what else can she do?
Excuse me. Oh, top of the order.
That's
Alrighty. She done?
Yeah.
Alright. You noticed these skeletons on the floor. Well, they start picking themselves up. And they're gonna roll initiative in here.
It's always the skeletons.
never trust the skeletons.
There is one skeleton we can trust.
Not this party.
True.
You don't know he's a skeleton. Alright, this one yanks a bone out of its rib cage and hucks it at Maeve. We'll see if he connects. 25 to hit. For 8 bludgeoning. That was a pretty weak damage roll. Oh well. And that's it for him. Chaticus.
What a bone hooker. I'm going to move up and try to dunk this man with my shillelagh.
Alrighty.
I will cast, what's it called? Booming Blade as I do it.
Alrighty.
That's done. Where is it? There.
Ooh, excuse me.
19 hit?
It sure does.
Okay.
So 9 in total. And he's got that booming energy.
I do him a good donkin, and then I think I will just kind of scoot a little bit out of the way to make room for Bit, and that'll be my turn.
Alrighty. The skeleton up here. He also pulls a bone out of his ribcage and he hurls it at Maeve. 20 to hit for 8 bludgeoning.
Wow.
Bang! This Null here, seeing Maeve attack his leader, goes for her. And just goes in with a bite. 18 to hit. 4 piercing.
Misses.
Oh,
She
misses.
will riposte.
Okay. 15 hits. For 9. Haven't you... How many superiority die do you have?
Oh,
You're out, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah. But I think when you did riposte before, you didn't actually add the die, so just I'll do you a solid and roll that die so I can apply it to the Null Pack Lord, please. It's a d6. Might be the difference. Probably not. Actually, no, that's impossible, because he has more than 6 hit points. Alright. Well, it's the Null Pack Lord's turn, and he turns around. He is going to try to run Maeve through with his glaive. After I see if he does. Okay. 15, 21. And, ooh, a sad crit. So 11, 22 damage.
Yep.
And then he incites Rampage as he roars. And these two guys are going to make attacks. One on Snow.
Can I use my opportunity attack against the Pack Lord as he attacks Maeve?
I'm surprised you didn't. Please. That's a miss.
Sad.
Sad. And
Okay.
in response, one of the gnolls goes to bite Snow, throwing his bow by the wayside, and then the other gnoll tries to bite Maeve. Alrighty. That gnoll's dead. Bit will try to take down this greater skeleton with her fire. I mean, her light. Zap, zap, zap. Where's the zap? There's. It's getting my good rolls. That's 20 damage in total, right? I believe so.
Yes.
Kine will advance in the room, and he will send a nasty steam blast to this knoll in front of Snow. Phew. Oh, misses terribly. It just kind of harmlessly evaporates. The mage is dead. Vardikk.
Okay. Vardick's going to run back in. He will attack the Pack Lord.
Alrighty. There's no way he's not dead. Yeah.
As he cleaves it, he will advance again and attack this knoll.
Alrighty. 18 slashing. For 6. Or sorry,
as
18 to hit, 6.
As he brings his greatsword down onto it, there's a blinding flash of light.
Yeah. And it cries out in agony as its flesh is seared by your divinity, or your channel divinity.
That 7 on the right is the extra for...
Oh. And it doesn't... It cries out, but it doesn't fall. Alright. It looks very fucked up, though. Anything else?
Alright, that's it.
Snow.
I mean, sure, I guess we'll just attack the... We'll attack the knoll that's in front of me.
You sound so disappointed.
Well, the skeletons are more fun, right? But I gotta kind of take care of... I gotta take care of my girl here.
That's a hit. It kills, even with Divine Strike, as his knoll crumples to the ground.
Alright, cool. And then we're gonna come over here and get in this skeleton's face.
Yeah. Are you gonna use polearm?
Actually, yeah, I'll step back 5 feet, and if he moves forward, he's...
Can't you use the bonus action?
Can I? Is it not on the same target?
Is it on the same target? I don't know. Key it. I just know you can take a bonus action. Yeah, it
Oh,
doesn't.
it's not against the same target. Okay.
That's a hit. For that sweet 7 damage. Oh wait, actually it's only 6. You see the cold doesn't really affect it as much.
Well, that's okay.
As you would hope.
And we'll back up 5 feet again.
Alright, it tries to take you on.
We're gonna chop at it.
Yeah. That's a hit. Is it stopped?
It is.
Alrighty, so that's a total of 16 damage. So it's just kind of like, brah! Then it yanks out a rib, and it just hucks it at her. 22 to hit. Ooh, that's a good hit.
That is pretty good.
Thwack! And that's the end of its turn. Maeve.
Maeve is going to finish this guy in front of her off,
Alrighty.
hopefully.
That's a hit, and definitely a kill, as this thing crumples.
And then she is going to run towards Chadicus, where this guy is attacking him. And she is going to take her second attack at him.
Alrighty. That is a hit. And the bones just clatter to the floor, immobile.
Oh, thank you.
Uh-huh.
It's now your turn, Chaticus.
I see 2 little skeletons. Let's see. What can I do? I guess I'll... Actually, I think based on how kind of beat up Maeve looks, I'm going to use a spell to drop a healing spirit on top.
Alrighty.
And I'll kind of place my, my chunky width in the way of her and the skeleton. That'll be my turn.
Alrighty. This one, yeah, is going to advance on Chaticus. And is going to try to slam at him with his nasty, sharp, elongated fingers. 11.
That'll miss.
And 24.
That will hit.
For 6 slashing and 6 necrotic. And that's his turn. That gnoll is dead. That gnoll is dead. Bits will come over and...
About that healing.
That's unfortunate. We'll start waylaying words. Sending sparkly ninja stars at this greater skeleton. Zap, zap, zap. Holy fuck! This is where all my good rolls are going, so be happy. Oh man, what's that add up to? Small numbers.
25.
Thank you. So the bones are glowing with this radiant power, and it's like sort of like crumbling.
6.
What?
26.
Glowing with this radiant power, and it's starting to move a little bit slower. And Bit just goes. Kine is going to help out Snow send a steam blast toward the greater skeleton to try to fracture it somehow. 23. Or fuck. Okay, what does this look like? How does steam destroy a skeleton? The bones get so hot, they pop and crack. And the skeleton just falls over. Wow, Kine says. Vardikk, it's your turn. Finish the fight.
Finish you.
Yeah, I guess I will. I was going to do something else. Alright, he'll move over. And attack.
Bam. That's a hit.
And since it is an affront to God...
It also clatters to the ground.
Oh.
Upon impact. And you're out of initiative.
Vardikk will walk over to Maeve and extend a hand.
Well, thank you, kind sir.
Do you take his hand?
Of course she does.
How much HP are you missing?
58.
Oof. Alright, I'll heal you for 40. So I use Lay on Hands. Oh, Maeve for 40 HP.
Alrighty.
Maeve starts feeling better. She's like, I don't know what you just did, but thank you, sir.
Yeah, just like a bright... This light kind of starts emanating from his palm, is dim and glows bright. I'll be honest, I don't really know what I did either, but I can do it.
That seems like it would be quite handy.
Are you okay?
I'll be fine. I do this all the time.
I must admit, I'm used to fighting in a squad or a unit. You people are so fragmented. You should be focusing on a target.
Oh, I'm not very good in the whole scrapping deal. I'm more of a healer and a supporter, but I do have spells. The problem is most of you ran right next to them, and you would probably die and incinerate at the same time. But
I
regardless,
I don't know that we're really a squad. We just got together just a couple weeks ago.
You fight like a squad, just not trained.
Are there any more of those arrows on these knolls?
Yes. Their quivers are full of regular arrows, and then interspersed with them, there's a couple of these arrows with these like Vanta black kind of shafts. And you see that there's not like a typical arrowhead; they're just sharpened at the end. And the fletching, it's not feathers; it's like this carved bone.
Snow's gonna pick out all the Vanta black arrows.
You find 4 of them. You see a couple of them sticking out of Chadicus.
Hey, Mike.
What's up?
Considering what we just fought, Vardikk is going to take a deep breath. He just... and he's going to Divine Sense.
Okay. This is definitely the opposite of hollowed ground.
The ground is tainted.
Seems like that is definitely true. I thought only Chadicus could make those bodies come back up, or skeletons come back up. Do we move forward?
So let's fall into that that new methodology we talked about. So
okay.
we start with Chadicus.
I would the group. Would we like to proceed, or would we like to scout ahead before we approach all bumbly and loud?
Maeve looks at Chadicus and says, "Do you have a way to scout, or are we just sending some?"
Well, you can send me. I'll just be very insignificant as I go scout ahead.
I have a hard time believing that you're going to be insignificant.
I hand her the torch.
Hold on.
Let's
let's actually move on to Snow. What did Snow want to do?
It might be a little bit better if we send Bit, considering she's quite a bit stealthier than we are. If we are sending someone to scout,
she says, "I am pretty light on my feet. Be happy to."
I'm gonna hand the torch to me. Just hold on to it. I'll go with her. And you're gonna see Chadicus like kind of jump towards Bit and turn into a spider and land on her shoulder.
Nice. Okay. The DM scouts for the party. This is a great position.
I'm coming along.
This is a great position. Okay. Well, let's see. Bit slinks off. Let's roll her a stealth check. You don't have to roll because you're a spider on a shoulder. That's not too good. Let's find out if she's seen. Okay, well. Chadicus, to you, it seems like she's being kind of loud, but that's just because you have your natural... I'm going to move this. You have your natural perception on point. So you enter this room with the flame that looks like it's continually burning with no source. On top of this thing, she rounds the corner over here, and she can see what looks like 2 bodies on the floor. And then, oops, you see her, or you feel her fur, like, spike up. And she gets tense immediately as you can hear this. And it sounds like it's coming from both directions in this T intersection here.
Oh.
And then Bit kind of like looks down at the spider on her shoulder.
I'm gonna like tap her twice, and then I'm gonna hop onto the wall, and then I'm gonna point my little leg to say go back and get the others. As I kind of crawl in the ceiling a little bit deeper.
She nods and. Alright, so
And,
Chadicus spiders. Alrighty.
My token doesn't have the dark vision, but the spider does.
Yeah. How do I do that? We're
I usually take
gonna.
the torch back.
Yeah, take the torch. Take the torch. Yeah, take the torch.
Move back here. Wow. I'll just start scurrying ceiling style
See,
forward to see if I can find the origin of this noise.
Yeah, give me a hot second. Go ahead and do that, but I need a few moments. Come on now.
Hey, Mike.
What's up?
What vision do you have on my token?
Do hobgoblins have dark vision?
They do.
You do? I didn't see it on their thing.
I mean, I got it from Volos. I can check again. Hang on.
Pretty sure goblins do. I don't see the other buff cousins one.
Oh, they do have dark vision. Did I not give you dark vision? Let's give you dark vision.
Looks like I only have 5 feet.
You should have it. It's on the token. Hold on.
Mine looks
Maybe
the
I'm-
same.
Maybe I'm just not used to Roll20's dark vision.
Could be. Because, like, it should just be, like, dim. Alright, Chadicus. Okay, so... the sound gets louder as you proceed.
I get to this too.
And-
See it.
And then you hear a pop, 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 pop coming from this direction.
I will
Very soft footsteps.
scuttle this way.
And you can see wandering on the floor into your view, just paddling along these nasty gnolls that are starting to walk in that direction. And you can hear more footsteps coming from further down this corridor.
X. So I think that's a good place to check out. Let's go the other way.
Alright.
Kind of check out what's over here real quick and then probably beeline it back.
You find tombs that seem to be like loosely, the lids are loose on them, but nothing else of note down here. That you can see is a spider.
Yeah, obviously. I'm not moving things with spider. I guess the only other path would
By
be
the
down
time,
here.
go back up there real quick.
Oh.
Just want to show you something. When you get back there, you see these guys hanging out.
Gotcha. Okay. Zip on down here. Do I hear that coughing noise again, or that little,
Right now,
vomiting noise?
no.
Okay, I think I got the information I need. I begin to scuttle back to the group.
All right.
Very tiny, jumping spider with a tiny little shroom kind of lands on the ground and turns into a big fat man. Oh, there are a lot of them.
How did you do that?
Magic. Very similar to what you did, just different. So there are 3 Gnolls to the north, 3 Gnolls to the south, and likely more of those spawning ones from both directions. So we'll be completely surrounded if we go either way and do not watch our back.
Is there a way to go without alerting the other one?
They're both on the edges of the hallway in the next room, and there are 2 bodies in that room that might animate like the ones here. However, they look a little more fleshy.
Oh, fleshy.
Now, Vardikk, I must ask, are you familiar with the spawner Gnoll?
Would you have seen those in the fight
Huh?
in the city? Probably not, eh?
He probably would have heard Gordon talk about it, and he's seen gnolls that look like they have like this nasty, gooey saliva placenta junk all over them. But he's probably never seen it happen.
I've seen what I believe to be the aftermath, and Gordon was speaking of it.
Well, you're going to get a very close look at it very shortly. Prepare yourself. Shall we?
Well, just a thought. Vardikk, you're talking about how we led people before. Is there a way we should go about?
Well, I think if we're going to attack, we should try to focus our efforts against one target at a time. Unless one of them breaks our ranks and gets to the back.
Kind like looks like he's listening to Vardikk and nods as he says all that.
We could sure use a man that knew what to tell us what to do when we're in there. So if you'd
Well,
like to do
if we fight in the hall, we just stand shoulder to shoulder and form like a phalanx.
well, I'm gonna follow your lead. Lead on.
Who among you has more ranged capability?
Snow, sort of, she holds ice and she says, I've got quite a bit of range with my blade here.
Well, might I suggest myself and Maeve go first, and then you behind us, or perhaps Bit and Maeve first, and then we follow their flank. Chadicus Kine in the back.
I don't have a problem with that, says Kine as he walks over to Chadicus. I'm gonna move these guys.
I am more melee fighter, but I seem to have come across these abilities where I can support.
Well, I'm pure melee, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go in. Shall we?
Lead on.
Give me that marching order.
Maeve is gonna stand in the precipice of this doorway and look at Chadicus and kind of give hand signals to where we should be standing.
He will give the symbol for 3 and then points towards the north direction, 3 to the south direction, and then 2 question mark in the room to the left.
So Maeve slips around the corner here.
And Bit follows silently.
Maeve points to Bit and makes a signal to have her Because she knows more than we do. She's seen inside to push.
To what?
Maeve gives Bit the signal to move forward as she knows a little bit more than we.
A little more than you cut off with the last word.
She knows a little bit more than we do.
Ah. Well, she walks ahead.
Maeve stays right up behind her.
And she's trying to be very silent about it.
Snow will do her best to walk through this sneakily as well.
Well, let's see how quiet Snow is. Roll a stealth check. Same with Vardikk. Yeah. You're not doing a good job of keeping quiet. It's a bit kind of, let's see. Let's,
How did we both get
Not 20s.
Crit.
Ain't that a bitch? Alright, well, so Bit is going to look back and, like, I guess she'll give the stop signal. And then she will, we'll see what she can do. Actually, yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, okay. So she starts stepping to here, and then you all hear this patter of feet, and you can hear two groups coming toward you. Roll initiative.
Behind.
Alright, sort this out. Okay. Pitter patter. Let's get at her. This one runs up to Bit super quick and just dives with his mouth and tries to bite her. Oh my god, but just falls flat on his butt, scrambling to his feet. Chaticus.
I'll kind of move my way through Vardikk, taking his back position, knowing that there's someone over here. And I'll hold my action when I see Knowles this way. I'm going to cast Wall of Fire, cutting them off.
Alright. You can access the templates, so you can do that. While I
Alright, when it comes up, yeah.
do this. Or now, since you cast the spell.
Oh, I was holding my action until I could see them.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I know they're coming, but I don't see them right now as this character.
Gotcha. Okay. Great.
I should move back and get my, there you
Bit. Well, laugh and she grabs her staff and tries to smack this guy. Whack whack. Nope. Oh man. She's a little caught off guard, even though he missed. But then she tries to follow up with a kick. That's a shame, as she's just so caught off guard. Alright. You see a Knoll round the corner and start running toward you.
Oh, no, he doesn't.
Where's the wall of fire at?
Well, let's see. Where's the tokens for this thing? Area effect templates?
If you scroll to the very bottom of the journal, you should be able to see them.
I see. So, what kind of size do I have on this bad boy? Wall of Fire. I pressed the spell card, didn't I?
You did, but he only gave you the damage.
Interesting. I'm going to press it this way. No, it's still only giving me the damage. Did I not have it in there?
No,
it's in there.
You probably just don't
20
have
feet
the...
high. No, it's in there. It's 60
20
foot long,
There you
20
go.
feet high, 1 foot thick.
60 feet
So that means
high.
it's 6 of these things? I believe.
There should be a 60-foot wall.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
Excellent.
Did it land in there? I dropped it in. I don't know if I can pull it as a token into it. I think you have to do it.
Come on. I
Because
want
I
you
can
guys
access
to be able to
it.
do it.
I can access it, but I can't like drag my token into the map, you know.
Okay, give me a second.
It's a 5-foot wall.
It is a 1 foot thick wall, 20 feet high, 60 feet long.
Oh, somebody did it. Thank you.
So probably gonna like diagonal this bad boy right around here. To
You catch him. You got it.
just kind of cover this.
Perfect.
What side are you putting the herd on?
So I guess 20 points of fire damage.
With the dex save. Yeah, that additional 2 won't matter. Okay, so he takes 20 damage. It's the wrong color! And he howls in pain. Meanwhile...
Like a nice teal fire.
Can he move through the thing?
Yeah, he can move through it. It's just opaque, and if he moves through it, I think there's just nothing else. Yeah,
Alright,
he just once again does this side while he's fine.
Moves through it and tries to bite you.
Anyway,
His fur burning. 16.
misses.
Oh, sorry. You said miss. Kine is going to attack the one in front of Bit. And that'll be a hit. That boy. Dealing 12 fire. Alright, this one is going to get over to here. Sees what's going on with the wall of fire. And then starts running back.
Did it walk within 10 feet of that side?
Within 10 feet. Is that the thing?
Yeah, how it works is it has one side that does damage and one side that doesn't. If it walks within 10 feet of that wall on that
Shit,
side,
10
it takes
feet. Wow.
damage.
Okay, go ahead and give me the damage roll.
It is a 4th level spell.
Sure is. Let's see if he saves. He does not, and he just bursts into flame and cooks alive. Alrighty. Another Knoll runs in and goes after Bit. 19 to hit Bit. Don't know if that hits or not. It doesn't. It does. She takes 6 piercing. Snow.
Okay, we getting in here. And we're gonna get this one with ice.
Yeah. Wait, which one? This one?
Oh, that's not disadvantage.
17
no,
hits.
to the left.
Alright. The one that's fresher. You see this one has taken damage.
Oh. Okay, so yeah, this guy then.
That's a damage. You slash over Bit's head. And what's it look like when you kill this thing?
So as Bit's like whapping him with her staff, Snow like finds a moment where like the staff is like over her shoulder and then comes in like from the side and just cleaves right into like his ribs.
Yeah, slashes into him and just crumples in a heap.
And then we'll ice butt this guy.
Yeah. That's a hit. Rah! 8 damage. Solid. Maeve.
Sorry, my mouse just died. I am going to come over to the side and take a swing at the guy that's standing right in front of Bit.
Like that?
Yes, that will work.
And you're just gonna Hail Mary?
Yes, I am.
Slash. Oh, there you go. Your mouse is alive! Both hit.
Yeah, I just had to plug it in.
Get him.
10 damage. And, alright. What's it look like when she cuts him to ribbons?
She just does, she slashes once and then just comes back with the back end of the sword and slashes back up.
All right.
Kind of hitting him right in the throat.
Anything else?
That's it.
All right, you hear more footsteps as this creature zooms over to Maeve and dives with his mouth open, teeth bared. 18.
It misses.
That misses. All right. It just falls over and scrambles to its feet. Vardikk.
All right, Vardikk is going to run up around. And he'll pincer this knoll.
Yeah. That's a hit. For 12 sliding. Whoa.
And a catastrophic failure.
It kind of turns around, grabs your blade in its teeth, and just spits it out. Alright. This knoll walks up to the wall of fire, not realizing what it's in for. Go ahead and roll that damage.
Yeah, I'll get it for you.
I think it's some damage for him.
Yeah, weak one.
That's a weak one. Still didn't save, but it knows not to go through that thing. And scampers away. I think that's all the movement I can take. Alright. That one's dead. Chaticus.
Alright, I think I will bonus action Shillelagh and full action Booming Blade donk this one. I'm going to treat it like a golf swing and try to take.
Yeah.
That's a miss.
That's unfortunate.
That'll be my turn.
Bit will come over to... A Bit will say, "Excuse me, Snow." And she'll move over to here and shoot a couple of radiant ninja stars at this knoll. 27, 15. She's probably gonna kill it. Yep. It slams into this creature and it just crumples.
As it crumbles, I'd like to use a reaction to make it kind of stand up as a zombie for me.
Alright.
So just kind of wave my hand and it just stands up and kind of loses a little bit of fur and flesh.
Shalof's up and kind of walks up. Looks over at the wall of fire. Oh, it seems like you've got them all. Dead.
The one right in front between Vardikk and I is not dead.
Oh, sorry. Then he doesn't do that. And he shoots a steam blast at it. Shoo! 9 fire damage. The knoll in front of you teeters. It's Snow's turn.
Okay, we're gonna get on up here and whack him with ice.
That's just enough to hit. What's it look like when she kills him?
So she steps out of the way when Bit goes by, and then she takes a couple steps back, and then as she's turning, brings it up in like an overhanded arc, and it like slashes through his chest, and then like into the stonework of the
Yeah. And the knoll crumples. Alright. You're not completely out of initiative, but you guys don't see any other danger. So...
Well, as a spider, I will, I saw these bodies over here. So
yeah.
I'd like to order my Zombo friend to walk over and pound their heads in.
Alright. Well, that's going on. Is Maeve or Vardikk doing anything that would take a round to do?
No, he'd just like to say something.
Go for it.
You look good job. You learned very quickly. You're already working as a unit.
And the Gnoll flesh gnar zombie is just tearing at these other bodies that you notice are quite old, or quite they're not like they haven't been here that long, but they have been here a while.
Enough to smell. Is that what you're saying?
Enough to smell. And top of the order of initiative, you hear the sound of footsteps on crumbling stone as this Gnoll appears up here with singed fur. And we're going to start with Chadicus, because that's who comes after him.
Okay, I will move up 5, 10, 20, 25 there. And I will cast, what's my cantrip called? Chill Touch.
Chilling.
So just kind of lovingly like stroke his fur like a good puppo.
That's a hit. 10 necrotic. What's it look like when this kills him?
I'm just gonna kind of reach the skeletal hand and just kind of like just tussle the top of his hair, and you see the head just begin to rot off the body and fall off as it falls to the ground.
Yeah, and it crumples.
Both adorable and dangerous.
It's Hum.
Oh shoot, Nyx didn't realize it's daylight savings.
Oh, is that why?
Well, I guess it's not daylight savings where she is. Unfortunately.
Some people don't have daylight savings.
Well, then I have no idea. Anyway, you have initiative, and
after a minute, the firewall will just
goes away.
For you.
And we're gonna take 5 because I need to get something. All right, so meanwhile, back at the Wayshield's headquarters. That's not what I want. I want next. Why you do this? Hold on, I gotta check something. Alright, Eager.
Listening to this music always makes me want to play Skyrim, and then I get into Skyrim, and then I'm like, oh, I've played this game to death.
It's good. It's good music. So, where the fuck? There it is. So we're gonna play this out sort of like Fiasco. So,
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I'll explain. So it's just a one-shotter kind of RPG game, but it has a part near the end where you sort of present what your character's doing in montage, and you say sentences that start with "this is" and then your character, and then doing a thing. So I just want to sort of build a scene where we go in player order, I guess, for the excavators, and we start with, I guess in this case, for example, we'll start with we'll start with Delia. And you've played Fiasco, so you know how this goes.
Let me open my character sheet.
Mike, I'm sorry. I got a phone call. I'll be right back, okay?
Okay.
It's the client thing.
Right.
So, are we're all just chilling here with the Gnoll corpses everywhere?
At this point, Stoneflame... That's a good question. At this point, Stoneflame is gathering them up and then, putting them aside.
Okay. I think Delia would be helping with that, because like she can't cast spells, but she's feeling all right. So she's gonna try and help as much as possible, just getting things in order so they don't look like a T-Rex just rampaged through here.
Is she going to is she dragging Noel body?
Yeah.
Okay. Stoneflame looks down and is you're being very helpful.
Thank you. And I'll flex a little. I'll drop the Knoll legs, and then I'll flex a little, and then pick him back up and start dragging.
Ha 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 ha! He laughs, in a very happy or warm spirited way. Darn. Well. All right. Well, what's Tadias up to? I'm gonna devolve from that for now. What's Tadias up to? Wow.
If this was just after the GTF left Tadias,
Couple of minutes. Maybe 15 minutes after. No Knolls have showed up.
Tadias is pretty beat up in his last few encounters, so he's just relaxing. I guess watching Delia flick, kind of just chuckling to himself.
All right. What about Zachriel?
Zachriel is just comforting Florian, as he hasn't spent a whole lot of time with her lately.
She leans against him. And she says, I can yell at you if things start getting hectic out here. You could go inside and meet Sihara.
Ooh, that's a great idea.
You open the door, and she's right there. Dad!
Ah,
Sorry.
you startled me.
She looks a little, her pale blue features sort of turn a little purple. But
You're getting very sneaky.
she just hugs your leg. I want to go home.
We can't go home yet, but soon.
And she nods and just clings to your leg. But then she looks up and she has her arms up, like she wants you to pick her up.
I pick her up.
She just wraps her arms around you and hugs tight.
You're getting a little big for this.
I know. What's Hum doing right now? As it's about 15 minutes since the GTF left to go investigate what's going on in the woods. Delia is helping Stoneflame gather up Null corpses and clean up the area.
Hum's kind of babying Tadias, who's been sitting there looking rough. Do you need a drink? Do you need something to eat?
Need this day to be over. Need these
I don't
Knolls to
have
live
that
us in
power.
Right.
I can play you a song.
Is it gonna be like the last one?
I could play the Froghemoth song.
As I kind of look over to our fiery dwarven friend, he heard the Froghemoth song yet?
I don't know. We should find out.
I assume the door is cracked open and Zachriel can make out what's being said outside. And Torlier cocks his head and says, "Oh, what are you talking about? Froghemoth. What's a Froghemoth?"
There's this great song about your old demigod. About this thing. So Hum plays the story about Zachriel's encounter with the Froghemoth.
And Torlier is like, he puts his hands on his stomach, and like when he does that, it sounds like a clank, and he just gives a belly laugh as his hair like flares a little bit, and he says to Zachriel, he calls in, he says, this new this new body hasn't been kind to you, huh?
Everyone's a wise guy.
And
They're forgetting the part where I ripped out of its chest.
Let me get there.
I wouldn't expect anything less.
As she's like singing the Froghemoth song, I'll use minor illusion to like put on a little play of, and it's like really bad like puppetry, like hand puppetry, of Zachriel getting eaten by the Froghemoth.
And like the illusion is like somebody's first stint with Maya 3D or something, and the models are like really terrible and badly
like cool
rigged.
3D World.
Yeah, no, not like Cool 3D World, not like Cool 3D World. Just like baby's first 3D animation. What I mean, unless Delia's into that kind of thing.
It might not be quite so like
Visceral,
weird and graph.
All right. Great.
Zachariel will open the door and look at Tolier holding Sierra.
Ah. Is this your daughter?
This is her.
And Sierra looks at Torlier and then looks at Zachriel, and she says, "Oh, is he a fire genasi too?"
No, he's an Aesir.
A being of pure fire, he says as he bows. And Sihara's eyes are kind of wide in wonderment as Floriana walks over and just kind of leans against Zachriel and Sihara.
And also, he's a being of pure fire who's going to live with us.
Floriana looks at you.
You won't notice him. He hardly takes up any space.
I mean, she like moves toward Torlier and like reaches toward him and then draws back. He might light the building on fire. And
Not of this.
And Torlier laughs again and says, "Oh, don't worry about me. If you build me a small little stone building, I'll be fine."
Well, after seeing the state of our home, I think it might be time to upgrade to stone anyway, so...
When you
Hum
say it,
chimes in and says, "Floriana, he said I could live with you too."
Also, Hum's coming.
Siharish, he said we could share a room if you want.
Floriana looks sort of... She smiles at Hum. Obviously, this isn't a problem for her. But then she sort of sighs and rubs the back of her head, and she says, We're gonna need to contract solid strides again."
Oh, that might take a while. We can work it out. We always do.
Oh, don't worry about me, Floriana. I think I'm just gonna go stay at Illyria's old place.
She nods at that, sort of lost in thought, thinking about, the aftermath of all of this.
Besides, once I tell you what I need to tell you, Toiler staying with us will make more sense.
All right. We're gonna go back to that crypt under the under the wood. Unless anybody wanted another vignette to play. Alright. Shift ping! Recalibrate yourself. Pine walks up. And says, I guess they're two different areas that are connected?
Would appear there could be path.
He looks at Chadicus. Did you see anything?
They're probably connected, considering the one over there, as I point to this one, had singed marks from the southern path. I didn't go deep enough to see if they were. However, we have a loving partner, as I kind of point to my zombie as he walks up, that can go check for us.
Jadicus,
Yes.
I must commend you. Using that line of fire helped sway the battle in our favor. It would appear that you are more tactical than I gave credit. I apologize.
I guess a lucky break doesn't sound like me very commonly, but
Are you sending him like up and around?
I was actually gonna walk forward and kind of like watch as he moves up. He's almost like the trap dummy baiting in.
Got it.
Because he has 1 hit point.
Right.
So
When he gets to this point, he starts moving a little bit slower. But continues.
Chadicus, don't run.
Where the hell did your dude go? Oh. Is anybody else joining? Oops.
I'm right behind Chadicus to keep him protected.
my old friend has underneath.
Blah. Blah. And as soon as you get to here, Chadicus, the temperature just drops violently, and you can see your breath ahead of you. Are you talking, Miles?
Am I? I wasn't right there.
You weren't a second ago?
Not a second ago now.
Hey, Cinna, can you hear us now? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Alright. Sometimes changing channels helps. So, it's super cold here now.
I'll have him stay where he is.
Okay.
Does anyone else feel that?
Am I
Where'd Vardikk go?
standing at the intersection? Over here.
I don't see him.
I'm on the knoll.
Oh, there you are. Jesus. What are you trying to do?
Do I see this?
Tomb. Yes.
There's tombs over here. This is a burial crypt.
Likely, they did mention it was some sort of temple before.
I'm gonna once again take a deep breath
Alright.
and gaze down.
You don't sense any undead.
Seems safe. At least of lingering spirits or
Does he
zombies.
sense this one over here?
Yeah, he does. You sense an undead down the hall here.
There's an undead down here.
I say, oh, Jeffrey, right. Jeffrey, wave. As the gnoll goes,
Nah.
blah. Waves, and you see a finger fall off its hand. So, are we trying to have the element of surprise, or would you rather have a fleshy body shield of some sort walk before us?
Surprise has never been our strong suit.
It really hasn't.
We're more smash and grab kind of.
I suggest if we move into the room, we should take our formation.
Marching order.
Absolutely.
Get behind Maeve again. A torch.
Vardikk, when you cross there, you feel it too, this incredible cold, and you can see your breath in front of you.
This is very strange.
Well, shall we move forward then?
Not unless you want to raid the crypts behind us.
I don't think wise to disturb the dead.
Ew, well, they're pretty disturbing to begin with. Oh no, just bodies rotting in stone slabs. Shall we?
Oh, before we go, just gonna hold a hand out to you, Chaligus. You are hurt.
Yes, slightly, as I kind of look at the 2 arrows stuck in my belly.
Same light begins to emanate and grows brighter and heals you.
Actually, the arrows probably aren't in my belly anymore. They probably fell out when I turned into a spider, didn't they?
Probably. But the nasty wounds are still there.
Thank you.
Blood in his shirt.
Vardikk is...
Vardikk.
I'm always trying to make sure I'm pronouncing it right. It's Vardikk.
Vardikk.
Vardikk. I do not have the tongue for the goblin language. Please, I apologize profusely.
Oh, it's fine. I could teach.
Perhaps it would be useful. We were attacked by goblins earlier.
This
What?
might not be the best place for this conversation.
You're right, Snow.
You can hear...
Maeve, shall we proceed?
Listen,
You can hear a, like, clacking, tapping sound coming from down the corridor.
Can I make a perception check, see if I can spot it?
Sure.
Button.
Down the corridor and to the right, from your perspective, which means to the west.
Yeah. Keep an eye out on the right. Believe there's something down there.
Sounds like claws hitting some kind of hard surface.
Okay. I'm gonna have my Noel begin to just hello my baby, hello my honey, just down the stairs. Just can kick down.
You hear a grunt. And then the knoll starts to move that way. At what point are you going to go down those weird stair-like things?
Right now.
Okay. So when you get down to the bottom, you sort of feel this weird pressure, and it's sort of, you can just feel this sort of weight kind of press on you. And at the limits of your dark vision, you can see this strange orb on this pedestal before what looks like a some kind of body of water. When you look at it a little bit, when you glance at it one more time, it's clear that it's frozen solid.
Well, that looks like what we're probably looking for.
It is the only thing in here that's not a no, so that makes sense.
Well, the skill.
And Maeve, as you cross the threshold there, you can see this. You see in the distance, on the ice tapping around, is a familiar sight of a knoll with a glowing spiral pattern on its chest.
Well, shit.
In this instant, do you do anything?
Oh, I think I do. Maeve is going to use her chill touch.
Ooh. Okay, so roll initiative.
My god.
My god.
Let me music this up. Oops. Alrighty, let me sort this. Bit. Well, let's just kick off. What does Maeve? So she like cast a spell?
Yeah, she just throws chill touch at it.
Alright, well then Bit will kind of notice this and come over here. Oh, yep. And she sort of puts up her claws and they start to glow a little bit. And she's just ready in action. So Maeve, it's your turn now.
Oh, I already threw it.
Oh, what'd you roll?
20.
Wait, where is it?
It's above my initiative roll.
Oh, okay, yeah. 16, holy fuck. Good roll. That doesn't stop it, but it definitely hurts it significantly. Alright. Well, Kine will roll around here, and he'll say, oh, there it comes. And it readies in action. So the knoll starts to run over the ice. Tap, 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 tap. And when it gets to here, and let me check a few things. Measure, please. Alright. Kine, unfortunately, does not get to have his thing, but Bit gets to have a Radiant Sunbolt, which hits, dealing 10 radiant damage. It's the knoll. As the knoll gets closer to the crystal, and it lays its hand on it. Then a thing happens. As soon as I get the proper music. The knoll starts to grow before your very eyes. Whoa.
And he disappears.
Nope. I just changed the character he is. Gonna add turn. Make him 13. And, back to him. Alright. And then gonna do a thing. Okay. Alright. Kine, seeing this happen. Oh shit. Oh shit. And he walks up a bit to like Maeve's square for just a second, shoots a steam blast. And he hits. What a guy. And you can see the steam sort of forming around him, but it looks like it barely affects him. Snow.
Okay. We're gonna get in here. And we ain't scared of no giant gnolls over here.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and cast Ice Storm.
Alright. What does it do?
We'll do... It's a 20-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder centered on a point within range.
Okay.
Each creature in the cylinder must make a dexterity saving throw. And then a creature takes 2d8 bludgeoning and 46 cold damage. And we're gonna do... the thingy.
Use your words.
Aurel's Wrath from my Tempest domain, just like Thunderous Wrath or something, where I roll. Oh no, it's not. It's not that. It's
Destructive Force.
Destructive Wrath.
Oh, never mind. It's Channel Divinity. I don't have any more of those, so we won't do that.
That's unfortunate. Go ahead and roll the damage. What's the save? Save 14. That's Dexterity.
Oh, that's a sad 4d6.
Well, fortunately, he rolled a 4. For some reason, it's the GM. Okay, so that's a total of 21. Okay. Give me a hot second. Alrighty.
And then I'm actually gonna take a tiny step backward and I'll hold ice in front of me.
Alrighty. Chaticus.
I'm gonna try to... Is it just the one thing? I can't really see past the people.
I mean, move your character closer.
Oh, and the
That's the one thing.
storm's area of effect is difficult terrain until the end of my next...
Oh, I wish I knew that. Before I deleted the thing.
Sorry.
Where'd you put it?
Yeah, there's... Right there's good.
Okay, well, you would have been in the area of effect.
Interesting.
And I'll say right here then.
I'm going to have like a glot of spores just kind of appear in this area as I try to insert them into this thing's brain.
Confusion. Alright.
So may make a wisdom, I believe, saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw.
DC 17.
Alright. Well, it's going to burn a legendary, and it just shakes it off.
Okay. Then bonus action, I will shillelagh, and then I'll order the zombie to run up and try to smash him.
Okay.
I have a little thing for it I can roll for you.
Please do.
Zombie slam. That's a 4 to hit.
Ineffectual. Vardikk.
Alright, Vardick's gonna place a hand on Maeve's back, and with his other hand, he kind of like grabs onto the collar on his chain, and he says, "Feel the ferocity of my clan." He casts haste on her.
Oh shit! All right. I guess that's it for you.
That's it for me.
All right. Well, Bit is going to just hurl radiant ninja stars at this thing. Damn, she's doing great. So that's a total of... I can't do math.
17.
Thank you. And you watch as it seems like those ninja stars batter this creature, and then finally, like, something that was there breaks and it rips into its flesh and it cries out in anger. Maeve, hasted.
So this thing that's around him, excuse me, is that going to affect Maeve if she tries?
It's rough terrain. So it takes double your movement to get through it.
But you also have double movement speed right now.
Okay, so she just runs at him
Yeah.
with her sword and just starts taking wild swings.
You have 3 attacks. 5 if you action surge.
I wish I could action surge, but I need to sleep first.
Didn't you take a short rest?
Don't I have? Isn't that
Short
only
rest.
done on a long rest?
Short rest.
Not sure for that one. Fighters is good.
So yeah, it's a short rest, and you had a short rest.
Oh, say we're gonna go 5 then.
Alright. Its AC is 14. Oh boy.
There you go. Crap.
Also, you have
So-
a +2 AC. Just so you know.
Oh, awesome.
Alright. Your strikes hit and hit and hit, and you start tearing out fur and flesh, and it just sort of looks down at you, and then it's going to do something terrible. You watch as it, and then I need a thingy. I need a line. Need a line. Where's my line? Wall? Wall works. Oh, delicious. Oh, but I gotta target PCs, not NPCs. Yeah, oops. Didn't mean to move Snow there. It just kind of moves over here. And you'll take this hurt as it, like, vomits these small, fleshy things, and they pelt you. And you look around and you realize they're null fetuses. And I need everyone to make a dexterity saving throw.
You
Fetal
get +2.
apocalypse.
What was that?
Everyone near me gets a +2.
Yeah.
I got an 18.
Oh god.
No breath.
Yeah, so the DC is 15. So Chaddick is
failed.
half on a miss. 15.
Oh, I
and then-
rolled initiative. What the fuck?
I don't know why you did that. What was your initiative before? I'm gonna scroll up and find out. 3. Well, didn't do you much good, so we'll just... oh, well, yeah, here we go. Chaddick is before.
Well, that's technically the same as my dex save.
It is. So yeah, you take all that damage. And these nasty little barely developed creatures splatter on the floor, and then they start dissolving into air in this nasty sound. And Kine is just like, what What the fuck? And that's his turn.
Okay, so I saved, so haste is still up.
Alright. Snow, it's your turn.
Okay, we're gonna get over here. And I'm gonna whack him with ice.
Yeah. That's a miss, unfortunately.
Okay, we'll do ice butt.
Ice butt. That's a hit.
And we'll Divine Strike.
Alright. For a total... that sucks, unfortunately. 8 damage in total. Alright, Chaticus.
You also see my token? I don't see my token anymore.
Right here.
It's not visible to me, interestingly enough. I'm
Oh.
gonna refresh real fast.
Yeah, you might have to.
Okay, there I am. Perfect.
There you are.
I just gotta reopen my sheet, but I think we're just gonna sing another spell, because I got Biggin still.
Alrighty.
But I have Fwens there now, so I'm worried about them. I think with that line, I'm going to begin moving this way, as everything loads so slowly. 5. And this is a wall to the left, or is this like more steps?
You know, I didn't... it's flat. It's flat.
Okay, I wasn't sure, so I could just move up here.
Yeah, I wasn't... Yeah, that wasn't even on my brain. That little bit there.
I wasn't sure, because it looks a little bit like
It does look like a slope. Yeah, you're right, it does. But it just treated as flat.
Excellent. And then, I think, what's my best play here? I'm gonna try another confusion, I guess.
Alright. Is out of these. What's your spell save?
17.
17 wisdom saving throw. It does not save. So what happens?
It's a bunch of stuff. So,
Each creature in a 10-foot radius sphere centered on a point. So I'm assuming it's gonna be like behind him a little bit, right?
Yeah, right there.
Target can't take reactions and must roll d10 to determine. Oh, okay, all that stuff. Okay,
It's pretty much his turn, and he gets to make saves at the end of his turn.
got it. Okay.
And I will call it there, and I'll order my zombie to maul him as best he can.
Alrighty.
I'm trying not. Yeah, there you got it.
Oh, the
That back.
thing is gone now.
Oh, it's gone?
Yeah.
okay. It just kind of
Gotcha.
melts into icy water on the floor.
Yes.
I'm assuming 9 will miss, so that'll be my turn.
Ineffectual.
Just
Alright,
lightly taps him on the leg.
Vardikk.
All right. I'll run up and attack.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh,
That's pretty good.
you know what's coming next.
Yeah, I do.
We're gonna hit this with a 3rd level spell slot.
Oh, fuck. Alright.
Boom.
And again. Jesus
Oh my
Christ.
Beautiful.
Okay. Alright, what's this look like?
So he comes running across, and as he's running, the greatsword just lights up like you know, like the old Final Fantasy games where when you use a limit, it kind of like you get like the Super Saiyan effect.
Yeah.
But it does like a fiery glow around the sword, and he just slashes diagonally straight across this thing's chest, across the mark.
Oh man, and it just like the light mixes with the purple glowy spiral, and the creature is just scratching at its chest, and then it just kind of like looks up at the ceiling and unhinges its jaw in a nasty scream. It's a lot of it's dead.
Oh, okay.
And it just explodes. And this mist of energy just spreads out, and I need anybody within 30 feet, which is
Everybody?
everybody except Kine. Kine doesn't get this. Everybody within 15 feet needs to make a Constitution saving throw. Unless you're a spellcaster. Or not unless you're a spellcaster. Especially if you're a spellcaster. Only if you're a spellcaster.
Maeve, you get a +2.
The DC is 15.
Maeve, you pass.
But Snow
Yay.
and Chaticus, you both lose a slot level of the same vein with those arrows.
Okay.
So your highest level slot, one of them downgrades. And the creature, its body ruptures and explodes. Oh shit, hold on. Ruptures and explodes into 4 gnolls. And I need to roll their initiatives real quick. Actually, you know what? Why don't we resolve this the easy way with the mook fight? So everybody give me a roll. How do you guys take out these last 4 gnolls?
When they show up, I just draw with Resolvis and just start swinging.
Yeah. Oh no. You
Horribly.
failed. Oh no.
The viscera from the exploding gnoll
You
was
only-
in my eye.
You only had to roll a 3 on the die.
Snow is gonna cast Spiritual Weapon to help out with bashing these gnolls, and then also use ice.
Kine will contribute with some holy fuck, you guys. What's going on?
I made it though.
You did
'cause
make
it's-
it. Kine didn't make
plus
it. Bit is hurling radiant ninja stars. Kine like raises out his hand, and the steam ineffectually just goes away. Oh, I'm not close enough. Dang it. What about Chaticus?
Not feeling the best, he's trying to stay out of it, so he's just gonna nature documentary talk his zombie through murdering the other gnolls.
All right.
So I'm just gonna roll nature, be like, you should really aim for their ears, they're very sensitive, just nibble on those.
Okay. I'll say, since you're using a class feature, well, you rolled a 25. Well, you might need that, so I'll just give you a +2, because you used the cool class feature with that.
Okay.
And then, I need Vardikk to contribute.
I guess coming off that divine reckoning, he's just gonna swing the sword. Actually, with that divine reckoning and exploding what he assumes is their father, he's going to swing the sword around wildly in an attempt to intimidate them
Alright.
into dropping their weapons.
They have no weapons.
Okay, well, standing down.
Yes. Their teeth are their weapons. Give me that check. Oh, God. Well, okay. With Kine's assistance, you make the party DC. However, a lot of you... Chaticus gets to save one person.
I'm closest to Snow and Maeve, so I guess I'll just save Maeve because she's next to my zombie. He'll just kind of fall in between the bite and just get eaten alive instead of her.
Great. And the rest of you who failed take 3 damage. Excellent. And that leaves the crystal, you can kind of pick up this. You can kind of pick up this thrumming coming from it. Although the feeling you got before is a lot weaker. Or the feeling you got before was a lot stronger, and now it feels a little bit weaker. What does snow do?
Well, that guy came up and touched the orb. What happens if I touch it?
Do you touch it?
Yeah, I'm gonna touch it.
And delete this guy. There you go. Roll a Constitution saving throw.
+2.
+2.
+2. It's not enough. You feel something that is so strange to you, because you still feel that divine connection to Earl, but any sort of ability you have to call forth her wintry chill is just gone. You can heal, you can rebuke the dead, or at least you could if you had the charges, but for some reason you feel like you just couldn't bring forth any cold. And then after about a minute, you feel it come back.
I'm gonna start whacking it.
Start whacking it.
Yep. Anything that does that to me is not good.
So you guys start seeing Snow whacking this thing.
I see her do it. I'm gonna whack it too.
This thing is
Maeve
evil.
joins in.
Chad, I guess, takes a step back.
Kind of like here, and he's kind of like, But then, yeah, you guys keep whacking it, and then it cracks. And then this sort of vapor flows out of it. And
Maeve starts backing up the minute she sees the vapor.
yeah, go ahead and back up like 10 feet and roll initiative. This creature with
We've been here before,
this
guys.
black cloud with different fire and lightning and ice flowing about it.
How much time passed between? Just seconds, or?
I would say a few minutes.
Okay, so haste is gone, and Maeve has already gone through her 6 seconds.
She's already gone through 6 seconds. She had like this experience of, whoa. I'm not gonna reroll.
That's why she backed up so hard. She just like felt this in
I'll reroll a bit. Anything different? Oh, she's still up at the top. Alright, well, Bit will react quickly and shoot her radiant stars at this thing. What? Hello? Close one? Oh, okay. One more. Oh, it did it. Alright. 2 of those hit. Pretty good. Maeve.
Maeve swings her sword at this.
Alright. Alright, when you do so, when it connects, this energy leaps off and harms you, and you take 8 and 2 fire damage. But it does take that damage. Roll your damage now. 12 and 6. Alright. You see that this thing is starting to waver. It's as if whatever power it might have had was severely reduced. Vardikk.
So I don't know what this is. I'm worried for my newfound companions. He grabs hold of his the collar on his chain again, and he mutters a phrase in Goblin. Anyone knows Goblin?
Nope.
All right. It sounds like gibberish. I'm going to use my Channel Divinity.
Both of them to be. Advantage on... yes, okay. That's a pretty fucking strong Channel Divinity, wow.
And I will attack.
Alright.
He basically just says, die Forsaken.
Fuck!
Oh my god.
Here we go. Let's
Uh,
do it.
how does he die? Set it up for me and I'll finish it off.
So I'm gonna use Smite just for the thematic of it.
I mean, I figured you were gonna smite.
So he just jams the sword inside it, and his hand begins to shake as this light just explodes out of it.
Yeah, and the energy starts to sort of wildly circulate around this form. And as your blade cuts through, it's not the blade that's doing the work as much as it is the radiant energy that is just lighting this dark cloud up and fizzling out this other less than good energy. What am I rolling? I don't know why I hit /R. And it just fizzles out into nothing. And that
Under his breath in Goblin, he says, "Thank you, Lord."
I don't know, I want next.
Well, I don't know what that was, but safe to say, it's dead now.
I wonder if that was the thing we were supposed to destroy.
You do feel this pressure that you felt before just kind of like go away.
It seemed to fit the description.
I don't know about the rest of you. I'm exhausted.
I understand you're exhausted, but we should get back to the city. The others could be in danger.
Snow.
Let's go.
This is a pool of solid ice that you find here.
I like it.
Uh-oh. I think I know where this is going. Maybe.
Snow, we have to go.
Miss Snow, I need some rest. Let's get back to where we need to be.
This seems to be your motif.
We should go.
Perhaps I could aid you, but we could reconsecrate this holy place. At another time.
I would like that.
I'm sure the spirits would like that as well.
Alright. You guys just go back the way you came?
Back the way you came.
Okay. Take a quick second. So unfortunately, Nyx got into some car trouble. And she won't be joining. She wouldn't be joining because she's waiting for a tow truck.
Oh, that sucks.
That's pretty bad.
Pothole.
Tell her we're thinking about.
It's Canada. Of course it's a pothole.
BRB. Alright. Unfortunately, we didn't get to a point where the null could show you more of its tricks.
Sorry about that.
Oh no, it's fine. It'll just come up later, maybe.
I have a feeling this is where we hit the monsters ratcheting up in difficulty. Level 3 Divine Smite territory.
Yeah.
That was a lot of damage.
That was a lot of damage.
89 damage.
Fucking 2 crit divine smites in 1 combat. I think
It was beautiful.
It's the dice's way.
I was impressed.
The dice's way of telling me to hurry the fuck up.
It's the dice's way of telling me you should be playing Paladin more.
No joke. I love crit smites. They're the best. You get to roll so many dice.
I'm just going to throw the whole bag out here.
Were you expecting that snipe? Or that haste?
No, I wasn't. That was a cool play.
I liked that.
Could just be like, roll the dice.
That is a vengeance domain spell.
Good.
Or oath spell.
It's beautiful. I looked at Paladin. Now I want to play.
You get your chance. I assure you. Next campaign, we'll reserve Paladin for kiddies.
Nah. We don't have to reserve anything.
Paladin's one of those roles you could just have multiple of.
It's true. We could just do a holy crusade.
Oh, we should
Oh
totally
my
do
God.
that.
Only if I can be the Black Knight.
I've had an idea
Okay.
for a campaign where it's like it's a pilgrimage of sorts. And like the idea of it is it's a really long journey of different faiths. Here's but a scratch.
Oh, can I play Zelandros?
Does it have to be Zelandros to a T?
Yeah, 100% same character.
From the same setting. Okay. Alright. Well, I think I hear Miles.
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, we got 20 minutes. So you guys make your way back to Forthstride. Or back to the city proper. And as you walk through trees, that whole thing only took you about an hour. And it's starting to be... It's past noon, it's like early afternoon. And looking over the city, it seems quieter as you start descending down the hill. And the excavators and GTF, they see each other. And Gordon waves. And Zachary, you can feel that sickness just sort of fade away.
Oh, I feel much better. They must have done it.
Those wolves are gone.
Doyle, do you feel better?
Now that you mention it, yeah, I do.
How are you feeling, Sahara, honey? You feeling any better?
She nods. Still arms wrapped around Zachriel. What the fuck?
Ah, look, our friends are back. Welcome back, friend.
Thank you.
I think we've taken care of the problem there.
It is my hopes you never had to be vomited on by a whole slurry of Knoll fetuses.
Gordon just says, "I'm sorry. Say that. I'm sorry. Say that again."
It's not to worry. There's very little detail towards it. Just a macabre spewing of Knoll excrement and ichor all over us. But rest assured, we've, I think, solved the problem.
He nods and says, "Good, good. I think we'll have a regular checkup on that place. It seems to be a hot spot."
Well, I think Miss Snow fell in love with it, so it may solve its problem.
You'll be happy to know that we haven't seen any gnolls since you left. I have a feeling we're on the downhill.
That would be a good thing to hear.
Gordon looks over the parties, and he says, "Once things quiet down for sure a little bit more, maybe when I get word from Blaze, I need all of you to join me and debrief. Everything you've seen and experienced, I need to know about it. We need to be more organized."
You know, I have to say, Mr. Vardikk was so much help in that cabin. I sure did enjoy having his company.
Vardikk, like, when he hears that, Vardikk, you see him just beam, and he looks really proud of you. And he clasps your shoulder and says, "Good job, lad."
Thank you.
He says that in Goblin, by the way.
Yeah, I assume. I say back to him and Goblin, thank you. These are good people. I just wanted to help them.
He nods. It's good of you, too.
We have lost so much.
He lets out a breath and does the slight shoulder squeeze and says, "I believe we can build a new camaraderie, a new family."
He just smiles.
And Torlier walks into the middle and says, if there's no of those beasties about, I would like to see if I can find myself a forge to get to work in." And Gordon just kind of gives him a look and then gives a look to Zachriel.
He's very good. He made this, and I show him the shield.
He says, "I was going to ask you about that," and he walks over. "May I inspect it?"
Sure, yeah.
Stoneflame walks over and says, "And he's going to make me a weapon soon enough, right?" "Aye, soon enough, but I think that," and he gestures to Vardikk, "he has a bit of priority considering what he's been through." And Stoneflame, this makes sense. Then he points.
By the way, Stoneflame, where's your big ball of magma?
He says, "I used it all up today. There's a lot of fighting."
I guess you'll have to procure some for Joy to make your weapon anyway.
Can you say that again?
I guess you have to go get more for Tolia to make your weapon anyway.
I suppose. Torlier says, well, I mean, coals are perfectly serviceable. And Stoneflame is like looks thoughtful and he says, "You know, that makes sense. I believe I'll do that tomorrow. Once I have all of my stuff back." And he kind of like makes fists. And he like scans over and he looks at Tadias and he says, "How are you doing?"
Moderate. Been over a few days. You missed a lot of it.
Gordon like says, "Oh, believe me, there's plenty of fighting to be had here." And Stoneflame says, "I've probably killed more gnolls today than I have in..." And he kind of cocks his head thinking, "The last year. There are a lot of them."
Well, I don't think we've seen the last of them. We have encountered them in the northern area here. Very large warbands of them. On the roads to Ouroboros, many months, probably a month ago. It was
One of the
group of them.
Wayshield says, "They had been getting more active up there. I'd been wondering about that." He looks to Gordon, and Gordon like meets his eyes like with a nod of, "Yeah, me too."
As if cultists weren't enough. Now we have to deal with the...
Gordon walks up to you, and he looks to Floriana, and then like looks to you again, and then Floriana says, "Come here, Ciara." She takes Ciara, walks a few steps, and then Gordon leans to Zachriel and says, "I suspect they're connected."
I suspect as well. Tell me, you're very old and very wise.
Ha! He chuckles, and then like listens.
What do you know of a name Zaman Rule?
He looks up. Well, I'm not very learned in old lore, but that name rings a bell, slightly.
He points over at Toiler and says, well, according to him, and based on what I've memories of unlocked, I am he.
He blinks. So, and he kind of squeezes his eyes. Well, that sounds like something you will need to discuss once we have this big debriefing.
That was my plan, but I'd like you to be ahead of the game.
I appreciate that. And he kind of like rubs his temple. Looks at Torlier. Torlier like meets his eyes. And he says, Forge. And Gordon shakes his head and says, my good sir, if you want to forge so badly, just beyond that building, and he points to this one, there's a communal forge in the center of one of the blocks. Then he looks at Zachriel and he says, "Can you show me that real quick?"
Of course.
I'm not afraid of these gnolls, especially if they have no weapons.
Well, I'm afraid of them for you, so...
If they touch me, they burn.
That is true, but if they come at you with a bucket of water...
Ha! I don't fear water.
Right. Zachariel's gonna point at the two way shields.
Let's call him Hector and Hector and give me a name. Need a name. John. Hector and John. Normal dudes. They walk up. And they say to Zachriel, yes, sir.
Hector, John, come with me. We're going to escort my friend here to the communal forge, and I would ask, if it's not too much trouble, that you just watch over him.
Yeah, sure thing. Especially if the gnolls have started to be cold. And they start walking with him. And Trollier goes over to that weird, I don't have it represented on the map, but he has that weird treaded bike. And he hops on it, and he starts pedaling. Show the way, lads! And they start going off. Would anyone like to have a scene before we close the session?
Sounds like we're good.
Is Delia doing anything? Snow, Hum?
No, I'm good. Probably
Vardikk
just
will approach Snow.
okay. She's looking longingly towards the ruin, like over to the edge of the city.
Excuse me, Miss Snow.
She turns to you and like crosses her arm. Oh, Vardikk, you did good today.
Thank you. I try. I understand that you seem to be preoccupied in thought.
I was, but that's okay. What can I help you with?
Recently, when surviving in that cursed place, I heard a voice, and when I awoke, I had these abilities. I was wondering if you could help me understand them, and in turn, I would like to accompany you and your team, and I would like to help you cleanse that place.
You said you heard a voice talking to you?
Yes.
Did the voice sound familiar at all?
No, I've never heard this voice.
Snow thinks for a second, and she gets this really intense look in her eyes, and she says, how did you feel whenever you heard the voice?
Comforted. It gave me the resolve to seek vengeance for my fallen allies. Retribution.
Good. Have you tried talking back?
How do you do that?
For me, speaking with my goddess is all I do all day. She's with me always. But there are times where I wish to just isolate myself and really connect with her. And in order to do so, I meditate. And
Meditate?
I find a quiet area, and I sit, or I sharpen my blade, or do ritualistic work, and I pray. I speak to her, and she speaks back to me.
I would like to learn how to do this prayer.
Well, I will show you how to pray, and we can pray together.
He smiles a big toothy grin. I would like that.
Snow unfolds her arms and she claps her gauntlet like on your back, and she says, "I'm excited to explore this with you."
I think that's seen.
Oh, you know what? Okay. I think we're out of time. So, Joy, we will see you next time.
Bye, Joy.
Bye, Joy.
Bye, Joy.
Bye, Joy.